My name is Corey Green. Now, have you ever wanted to create sculpture, or maybe you even have, and then decided it was too frustrating, so you stopped? That's why I'm going to be showing you how to create a found object sculpture. And one of the reasons why is because it's really simple, and you can really create it out of anything. So to my left or right is an example of what a found object sculpture might be. Now, this is a dream catcher, but the reason why it's a found object sculpture is because it's made from a variety of things, all combined into one to make one object. So you have the branch that makes up the outer ring, the string on the inside which makes the pattern, you also have the leather and feathers which make it more decorative, as well as all the inside things that I found over the years. Again, found objects. Now when you're starting your found object sculpture, you need to find the objects. Now where do you look? You look anywhere. That's the best thing about a found object sculpture, is you can use anything from anywhere. So say you were walking outside and you liked a rock. Pick it up, you might use it. Dig through trash cans, you might find old Solo cups, garages or gold mines. Again, anything and everything counts. So when I was going kind of through our house and our garage, some things that I found are this old speaker. Now this was already taken out, all the insides were taken out, which made it really nice. We also have the CD case with all the CDs, and the thing that makes this really cool is the fact that you can take it apart, and then you have all these other parts that you can use as well. It also makes it easier to kind of combine together. Now what makes it really cool about that, and these are things that I want you to start considering, is you might be able to use the inside of objects as well. Again, they're a little bit more different, maybe a little more abstract, especially if you're doing electronics, but you never know, they might come in handy. I also found these really cool foam pads, and when I was kind of looking around, I already noticed that they kind of look like eyeballs. Now these are things that you'd throw away, but you could use them here. Also found this really cool old beater. You don't find these anymore. A lot of them, the new ones, are a little bit more boxy. This one has some kind of character to it. You might also find trash bags. You never know. Heck, even if I decide I don't like it, I can always throw it away too. And then kind of with the beater, I found the beater parts to it as well. Now I don't know if I'm going to use these or what I'd use them for, but you can use them. Having more objects gives you a little bit more variety and also gives you a little bit more playroom. Now, once you get all of your objects together, you're going to need to connect it together. Now you can also stack these on top of each other and kind of balance them, just kind of get an idea, but you are going to want to make them permanent. So things that you might be using are scissors to maybe cut up the trash bags, glue, anything from Elmer's. I have the blue kind, you can get the white kind. You might get super glue or E6000, all of these are good examples. A lighter. Now what makes a lighter so cool is the fact that you can, use the lighter itself and then burn objects, and when you burn an object you change its color. So you don't have to necessarily just use this plastic bag. Maybe I can alter it in some way. I might be able to make it a little bit more bubbly to maybe fit my aesthetic. Again, it's all just kind of play. A screwdriver, and the reason why a screwdriver is so great is because you can start taking objects apart. So I use the screwdriver to take this apart so I can take all the insides out to make it lighter. And then tape. Tape, especially if you're not exactly sure you want it there, but you can kind of tape it so that way you can kind of turn it around and look around it. So you might be using this. Again, everything that I've done is pre-done, so that way we can kind of go ahead and speed up the process as well. Now another thing that I want you to start considering is when you're making your found object sculpture, after you have everything picked out, as well as all of your materials here, pick out one object that you like the best. So for me, I like this beater. Now the reason why I like this beater is because it has a lot of character. So pick that one thing and start from there. The reason why I like this so much is because this metal grill here already looks like a mouth, so I automatically thought of it as a head. Now I do have those eyes that I can just attach together to make it a face. Again, I use tape. You can kind of use whatever. I could have glued that on there. So I already have the face. Now I have to work my way down. And the next step is going to be a base. So something that maybe is a little bit more heavy, maybe like the stack of CDs, or maybe something that's a little bit wide, like this stereo speaker. Kind of whichever one you prefer. Now one thing to consider, especially if you're making like a person, is if it's male or female. If it's male, I'd probably go with a stack of speakers because it's very rigid. If it was female, it has this nice curve, kind of looks like a dress. Another thing that makes this kind of nice is the thing that it used to swivel on kind of looks like a neckline. So I can kind of find that object too. So definitely look at all of your objects because you might be able to pull different ideas from them. Also it has two little holes because with a body you have to have an arm. So I might be able to stick something in there. And these beaters make a really good arms. Now with this individual sculpture you're going to be noticing that it's very frontal. So the way it's also not full round. So I won't be able to view it from all sides. Once you get a little bit more advanced, you're going to be able to maybe add movement into it, make it a little bit more dynamic, which is just kind of angling it to the side so that way people get curious and walk all the way around the sculpture to kind of get for it. But when you're first starting out, making frontal things is okay. You'll kind of realize after you play a little bit when things maybe are in the round, so that we can walk and make it as interesting both from the back and from the front, whichever you choose. So this is my body, this is my head. What I need now is kind of legs. So since this curves out, this makes it really nice because I can just kind of stack these on top, but I don't like the look of all of these CDs. So I'm going to unscrew this, flip it over so I have a solid base to work on, but it's still too plain. Now the nice thing about clear objects is you can stick whatever in them. So if I want to stick the beaters in them, I could do that. Or, you know, I can kind of crunch this trash bag up and fit it on the inside. And that just kind of looks interesting to me. Again, you can pick whichever you'd like. And then I can stack this on top, which makes it the dress. Now one thing you might notice is this thing does kind of curve around. If you wanted to, you could go ahead and glue this together, especially if you knew this is exactly what you wanted. If you weren't quite sure, you might try the balancing act. Now I like the way this looks, but I also need the arms, so I can just stick these in. Again, you can just kind of place these there. You might have to tape them if it's something a little bit more that doesn't fit necessarily in the hole. You might also kind of tape them together so that way it can look all the way around. And then I'm just going to try to stack this head on top. And then that creates my found object sculpture. Again, you can tell that these are definitely speakers, beaters, things like that, but when combined they do create one kind of maybe like a looking person. It's a little bit more alien, but that's okay, because people will recognize it right off the bat. So as you can see, making a found object sculpture can be really fun, really easy, and you do have a lot of opportunity to really kind of play around with it. Again, you can take these apart, re-glue them together, maybe add more to it, whichever you would prefer. I could add hair to it if I wanted to, but you have a lot of opportunity. So if you have a lot of rowdy kids, say at a babysitting conference, and you needed to go through and like kind of contain them a little bit, you can go through, pull solo cups, get markers, and then they can kind of start creating things. Add to it, take away. Also, if you just want to start getting kind of like an out for your creativity, you can do found object sculpture as well. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much, and have a good day.